Is the Patriots Dynasty over? It's Mitch of TheBottomLineView. I'm here to tell you why the Patriots Dynasty is not over and why the Patriots will be contenders in the 2018 NFL season. I'm going to give you 5 reasons why the Patriots will be back and may even be back in the Super Bowl next year. Every so often with the Patriots, there are media members that make bold statements. There are media members that try to tear down what the Patriots have done over the past 15-plus seasons, what Brady and Belichick have accomplished. And after this Super Bowl loss to the Philadelphia Eagles, many media members and fans are going to act like the Patriots are done, like the dynasty is over. And I'm here to tell you why that's just simply not true. Here are my 5 reasons why I believe the Patriots dynasty is still not over. Let's start off with reason number 5. Now, reason number 5 is basically 2 reasons wrapped into one. Now, the first reason is the competition. The competition of the AFC has never been worse through the tenure of the New England Patriots run. You think back to the mid-2000s when there were dominant teams that the Patriots had to face every year. The Steelers, the Colts, the Chargers, the Ravens. Now you move on and you get to a point where, is there really a number 1 contender for the AFC crown? A lot of people would directly point my attention to the Jacksonville Jaguars, who almost pulled the upset against the New England Patriots in the AFC Championship game. But are we so certain that the Jaguars will be back in the AFC Championship? For all I know, their quarterback is still Blake Bortles, so I'm not completely 100% sold. The Houston Texans, with a guy like Deshaun Watson, maybe people would act like that's a team on the rise, but they have plenty of question marks, especially with one of the worst passing defenses in the NFL last year. The Pittsburgh Steelers are basically perennial chokers in the playoffs at this point. And in my opinion, last year was their year to really do something and do some damage and take advantage of what, in my opinion, was one of the weaker Patriot teams of the last 5 to 6 years. And then there's wild cards, like maybe the Raiders get back into the playoffs and make a run. Maybe the Chargers are a team that are building something that can knock off the Patriots. There is no one team that you point to in the AFC that you can clearly state is better than the Patriots going into 2018. So the first point is competition. And then adding off of that, not only is the competition weaker, but the Patriots' motivation is stronger. It's added motivation. But now losing this Super Bowl, you have to think that Bill Belichick and Tom Brady don't have many years left. And they are going to put as much time, as much effort, and as much resources into creating a great team and going out in style in these next 2 years or so. So the Patriots, more than ever, have added motivation and have no pressure to repeat this season like they did last. At number 4, I have Bill Belichick is still the coach. Now, this may be a simple reason, but Bill Belichick is taking a lot of heat for what happened in Super Bowl 52, with Malcolm Butler not playing basically any snaps in that game. He's taken heat for that. He's taken heat from myself for not building the best team as a GM. He didn't, I feel, build the best team this year to allow Brady and that team to succeed. And really for getting out-coached on the grandest stage of them all, getting out-coached in the Super Bowl. So Bill Belichick, yes, still the coach. And we have to think that, yeah, Bill Belichick deserves some blame for this season, but we also have to credit him for all that's happened in the past. He is a 5-time Super Bowl champion as a head coach, a 2-time Super Bowl champion as a defensive coordinator. He's been in more percentage of Super Bowls than any human being ever on earth. And Bill Belichick knows how to take limited talent like he did this year on the defensive side of the football and create a competent team, at least to ride into the bowl. Now, if he has added some talent and he's added a little bit more to work with, now we're talking about a team that could potentially win the Super Bowl. So as long as Bill Belichick is still the coach, of the New England Patriots. The Patriots will have a chance. The Patriots will be in the playoffs, and the Patriots will be one of the contenders in the AFC. At number 3, I have injuries. And not only injuries, but injuries to crucial players. Now, in general, I feel like the roster will be better going into the 2018 season than it was in the 2017 season. But this was a Patriots team that couldn't afford all these injuries because of the fact that they won the Super Bowl the year before, and a lot of their players kind of left because they got overpaid in free agency. A lot of players went elsewhere from last year's Super Bowl team, and they didn't quite have the depth they had last year to afford these injuries. Offensively, they had Julian Edelman, who is probably their best receiver. Brandon Cooks are not. Julian Edelman is the most consistent, best man-on-man beater receiver that they have, and he is the most reliable guy for Tom Brady. There is nothing that can be said really about the Julian Edelman, Tom Brady clutch connection. Marcus Cannon, he is an all-pro right tackle. He was out for basically the entire season. Malcolm Mitchell, who was an upcoming wide receiver who could have possibly been a starter this year for this team. Martellus Bennett, now it's unknown if he's going to be back with the team or not, but this is a guy that is currently signed to the team. If he chooses to continue to play football, he'll be on the Patriots roster. And we've seen when Bennett and Gronk are available and they're able to play together that this team is extremely dangerous to deal with offensively. Then you have Tony Garcia, who is a rookie tackle, but he was one of their top picks in the draft, and that hurts when you don't have one of your top picks in the draft and he's out for the season. So defensively, they missed their best defensive player. Dante Hightower was out for a majority of this season, especially at a position that they desperately needed him. Linebacker was arguably their weakest position on this team overall, and Hightower, him going out was a huge loss because of all the things he can do, whether it's rushing the passer, whether it's playing middle linebacker, or covering. He's an all-around great player, a leader of this defense, and he was sorely missed, especially in that Super Bowl. Derek Rivers, who was one of their top picks as well, he is a pass rusher. He's a guy that they could have desperately used in terms of his athleticism, and he's going to be a guy that could come into the rotation on the defensive front this season. This time last year in the Super Bowl against the Atlanta Falcons, Shea Mclennan was a starting linebacker for the New England Patriots and played a big role in that Super Bowl team. He was out. Jonathan Jones, who was a third or fourth corner on this team for a lot of the season, played slot corner for this team. He was out. Vincent Valentine, who played a lot of time in run-stuffing situations, they could have used his bigger body against the Eagles. He was out. A core special teamer, Nate Ebner, who is one of the best in the NFL, he was out. And also a young guy that potentially could have started on this defense, Harvey Lange, who they really liked in training camp, was also injured. So all these players, all these core pieces, not just players that were backups, players that were on the 53, but players that could have heavily contributed to wins and losses this year, were out for the New England Patriots. That creates a much better roster with a much better talent pool, which coincides with my last point of Bill Belichick having a little bit more talent to work with in terms of him coaching up his team. So that is my third point for why the Patriots dynasty is not over. My second point is that the Patriots had a very off year in free agency and in the draft. Now, of course, we talked about the draft. Two of their top picks were hurt. Garcia was hurt, Rivers was hurt. So it's an incomplete grade on that fact. Dietrich Wise was one of their picks in the draft. He turned out to be a pretty decent player, and he was a regular starter for them this season. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. Their biggest needs, they need pass rusher, they need an athletic linebacker, they need a corner, and they possibly need a quarterback of the future. They need to probably replace Malcolm Butler, who's one of the key free agents they're going to lose. The other key free agents, you look at this team that could stay or go, Malcolm Butler is going to be gone 100%. Nate Solder could be gone, but I doubt it. If he goes anywhere, it's going to be to retirement. If he does not retire, I'm pretty sure he'll be a Patriot next season after finishing the season strong. Dion Lewis and Rex Burkhead are both free agents, so I expect one of those guys to be back. I'm not sure which one. Dion Lewis is a guy that could go a number of places. It's going to be interesting to see if James Harrison comes back. I actually expect him to maybe get a 1-year solid deal to come back and play a rotation role. I think he liked his time in New England. I expect him to maybe give it another go. Danny Amendola is a guy that is expected to be a free agent. He's taken many pay cuts for this team. His best friends are Edelman and Brady. I expect Danny Amendola to be back. Those things all come together. You're not losing a ton of players in free agency. And my number one point is that Tom Brady is still the quarterback. Tom Brady is still elite, and Tom Brady is arguably still the best quarterback in the NFL. Now, Tom Brady was the NFL MVP. Tom Brady threw 500 yards and 3 touchdowns in the Super Bowl and would have easily been the MVP if the Patriots would have won that game. And he basically he tugged the Patriots to the Super Bowl. I don't see much of a drop-off. I mean, it's going to have to be quite significant. From a quarterback in the biggest situations with his receiver gone in the first quarter, Brandon Cooks, and Julian Edelman not on the field, still producing 500 yards against a top 5 defense in the NFL on the biggest stage, I don't see much of a drop-off. And even if there is, like I said, there's going to be so much talent around him on the offensive side of the ball. You're thinking about Gronk, Cooks, Edelman on the field at the same time. How's the defense going to stop that? I mean, the Eagles, a top 5 defense, they only gave up, like 17 points in the entire playoffs before that game? And you're talking about a team that went and ripped for 600-plus yards against this defense without 2 of their star playmakers. So this is an offense that is going to be absolutely on fire. This is an offense that's going to be potent. So the Patriots offense is going to be ridiculous as long as Tom Brady remains somewhat of the same form as he has over the past couple of seasons. I expect it to remain that way at least until, another year or so. But Brady has been so good these last few years that you cannot doubt him coming back. And with extra motivation, we've seen Tom versus time. This guy is going to be freaking pissed off. He's going to be motivated. And the Patriots, I think, are going to be ready to go. And at the very least, they're going to be back in the AFC Championship. Those are my 5 reasons why I think the Patriots will return to supremacy in the AFC. 5 reasons why the Patriots will still be a contender next year and why the Patriots dynasty is not yet dead. So haters, take your hate somewhere else. Wait until the dynasty is dead to call it. It's Mitch of TheBottomLineView. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel for more NFL content. We do content basically every single day, and we're going to have an amazing full schedule when it comes to the NFL offseason. It's Mitch of TheBottomLineView. Hope you enjoyed once again. Peace out.